from the comfort of your listening device, it's MashUpheaval, your all-request live performance mashup podcast. Now here's your host, the adventurer of rock and roll, Amelia Ray.
It was the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember.
Hello and welcome to this episode of MashUpheaval, your all-request live performance mashup podcast. I'm your host, Amelia Ray, coming to you from Tel Aviv with some wild mashups today. I'll provide some information at the end of the show on how to request a mashup. The first mashup of the day goes out to Mindy K in Costa Rica. She has requested a mashup of This Masquerade by the Carpenters and Cry Me a River. Let's put these two songs in the blender and see what comes out. Now you say you're lonely, you cry the whole night through. Well, you can cry me a river, oh, cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, oh, cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. Are we really happy with this lonely game we play? Looking for the right words to say, searching but not finding understanding anyway. We're lost in this masquerade, both afraid to say we're just too far away from being close together from the start. We tried to talk it over, but the words got in the way. We're lost inside this lonely game we play. Now you say you love me, well, just to prove that you do, I want you to cry me a river, cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. You nearly drove me out of my head. Well, you never shed a tear. I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian, told me you were through with me. Thoughts of leaving disappear every time I see your eyes. No matter how hard I try to understand the reason why we carry on this way. We're lost in a masquerade. We're lost in this masquerade. We're lost in this masquerade. Cry me a river, 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 cry me a river. Oh, I cried a river over you. This Masquerade and Cry Me a River there for Mindy K. Cry Me a River was written by Arthur Hamilton, and the version I did there was by Joe Cocker. who charted in 1970 with his version of that song on the album Mad Dogs and Englishmen. Playing lead guitar, piano, singing backup vocals, songwriting, and acting as musical director for the live album Mad Dogs and Englishmen was none other than Mr. Leon Russell, who wrote this Masquerade. In an interview with Rick Moody, Martha Davis said she met Roy Orbison and apologized about using his title, but Roy said he liked the song. Here for Debbie in Toledo, Ohio, is a mashup of Only the Lonely. Both versions. Dum 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 you are do ah yeah. Oh only the lonely, only the lonely, only the lonely know the way I feel tonight. Only the lonely know this feeling ain't right. There goes my baby, and there goes my heart, and they're gone forever, and so far apart. But only the lonely know why I cry. Only the lonely, only the lonely. We walked the loneliest mile. We smile without any style. We kiss all together, raw, no intention. We lie about each other's drinks. We live without each other, thinking what anyone would do without me and you. It's like I told you, only the lonely can play. So hold on, here we go. Hold on to nothing we know. I feel so lonely way up here. You mentioned the time we were together so long ago. Well, I don't remember. All I know is it makes me feel good now. It's like I told you, only the lonely can play. It's like I told you, only the lonely can play. Only the lonely, only the lonely, only the lonely know the heartaches I've been through. Only the lonely know I cry for you. Maybe tomorrow a new romance, no more sorrow, but that's the chance you've gotta take if you're alone. Heartbreaks only the lonely don't know. Today's episode of MashUpheaval featured the songs Cry Me a River, written by Arthur Hamilton, This Masquerade, written by Leon Russell, Only the Lonely, written by Roy Orbison and Joe Melson, and Only the Lonely, written by Martha Davis and Jeff Gerard. The background song, Papa Was a Bloody War Pig, is a mashup of War Pigs written by Tony Iommi, Ozzy Osbourne, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward, and Papa Was a Rolling Stone, written by Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of MashUpheaval. If you would like to request a mashup, shoot me an email to mashupheaval@ameliaray.net. If you liked what you heard, be sure to give the podcast a review on Stitcher, perhaps, or leave a comment. It helps others find the podcast. Special thanks to patrons Mace Mamlock, Holly Hedden, and Nicholas Musser. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back in a couple weeks with another episode of
MashUpheaval.
Thanks, Business Class.